Vi finally arrives.
Yay!
There we go. I don't know. Like I said, she should have been here ages ago. Don't know what the fuck's going on. Whatever.
She got lost.
Mola, there was a shot quickly that Jinx has a Hextech gemstone.
Okay.
She has a Hextech gemstone inside the prison.
Yeah.
No one.
I mean.
Yeah, she just has it. No one took it off her. No one checked. Those things cause explosions. They're very dangerous.
Dude, she probably has all of her weapons just hidden in there somewhere. It's fine. What she does, don't worry about it. So, like I said, Caitlyn said she was deciding what she was going to do with Jinx once Vi was like awake and could talk to her. She clearly wants her to be out. To be honest with you, you might need Jinx as a warrior anyway. You need to have that discussion seriously because you're about to be attacked by like a full army.
Yeah.
None of this is being discussed. None of that. It's just like, okay, fine.
And yeah, if you have like the conversation like, hey, we're gonna set some rules here, but we need your help, we need your guns and all your crazy machines and stuff to defend ourselves. And then she can do like some rescuing here and there and then get some trust from everything, and then we could maybe go towards a way that shows us, oh, maybe there could be something redemption-wise in season 15, but not now.
What you're highlighting is something that people who very much enjoy this season have a lot of trouble with, and I mean they feel they have a trouble with it. Jinx is looking to essentially kill herself in this series, as we find out. But it's like, is that coherent? If she's going to kill herself because she lost Grogu, does she not care about her sister anymore enough to want to save her from impending doom? I guess not. It feels a little difficult to make this coherent. It's like Jinx has given up all hope, though she hasn't. She still loves her sister and cares about her and wants to save her and will sacrifice herself to save her.
I think we're expected to accept that Jinx has come to the realization that everyone close to her dies, and that's why she wants to remove herself from the equation. The problem, I think, is that she was already in that state of mind at the end of season 1, so this is just a retread.
I mean, not only a retread, but we actually have an impending... How much does Jinx know about the situation, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
It's a good question, actually.
What, the Victor and Bessa stuff?
Victor and Ambessa and Singed and Warwick and all of it. Does she know anything about any of this?
I don't think she would know anything because Vi hasn't told her, and there's no way Caitlyn would have told her.
Well, we'd be curious what she would have to say. Like, has she asked about the state of Warwick? Did they see Warwick was okay when they left? Does she care? I don't know. And then, of course, like the state of a whole army of Noxians are going to wash over Piltover. Does she want to help them with that? You'd think she'd be pretty... Maybe she just needs some other character that she cares much less about to tell her about it, and that'll get her on board. That could be it.
That sounds great. We should do that.
Do you see why I'm going this direction? Do you see where I'm heading somewhat for future events? I'm not exactly...
I smell what you farted.
You smell in my farts, I see. Good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vi says, if you do good, we could rewrite your story like you did with Zorn. Which, what is she talking about exactly?
You got to read the full line.
The line is uber cringe, yeah.
Wait, I don't have it. Oh my god.
Oh, so this is the line that I think is the worst line in the show.
Ooh,
Vi says to Jinx, "If you come, help, use all that explosive potential of yours for good. Maybe we could rewrite your story like you did with Zorn."
Yeah. It's just an extra topping of cringe. I fucking hate this line so much. Use your explosive potential. Like,
what
are you
phrase?
What?
Yeah, explosive potential.
What are you referring to with that, Vi?
It is accidentally funny, and she keeps blowing people up and killing them. That's not explosive potential.
What's the explosive potential? What do you mean?
You
mean that time that she fired a rocket?
What about that time when she tried to use her explosive potential for good and it ruined everything?
Other than that, come on, you blow up everybody you love one time and people just don't let you forget it.
I think what annoys me as well is if you interpret it as a broader meta theme, not meta. I need to stop saying meta. It's not this often not accurate. In terms of the broader theme of like, well, yeah, if Jinx has a capacity to do good, then she ought to be able to do that. I mean, it's a little bit more complicated than that. You could do something like in Jinx's case, if you could be like, yeah, but I mean, like she could do good stuff if she was free, right? It's like, yeah, but I don't know if that's like how our view of justice works. Of like, well, you know, you did something wrong, but you know, if you were allowed to roam free, you would have the capacity to sometimes do good things. So like, yeah, I guess no jail for you. It's like,
yeah.
I don't know that that's the way that it works ever.
I don't know about this in terms of like the cost benefit analysis, you know.
I mean,
risk reward
down on that one, yeah. I don't know, man.
I don't think Jinx is going to be starting any like social programs.
I don't think she says like so much good that it would override the social benefit of her being locked away for a really long time.
Also, like that, everything is wrong with that fucking line because Vi is basically saying that like everything that you've done before that has been explodey. The problem with it wasn't that it was explodey; it was that it was aimed at the wrong people. So we're gonna redirect
there are no bad tactics, only bad targets.
I like this made her completely miserable too, and she's like, "Explode more, do more exploding."
Do that thing,
the explodey person.
Kill lots of people. Just and like for some reason, Vi seems to think that she used her explosive potential to rewrite the story of Zorn.
Yeah, so that's what I was. I didn't understand that. What is she referring to?
That's episode 4, the music video where everybody was Jinxes.
But she didn't do that.
Referring to?
She didn't do that.
So, yeah.
I think that's the only thing that you could reasonably say that she was referring to.
So does that mean she's talking about when she did the reverse Jana Wind thing and put all those explosives on Pilder? So she's now saying that was a good move.
That was a good thing, even
though
seeing
the top side, awesome move.
Grievously injured some people.
You sit down.
Like,
you're losing it.
Vi is being sacrificed on the altar of other characters right now.
That directly led to the death of Grogu. Why on earth would she think that that's a good argumentation tactic for fucking?
Well, again, it's what we talked about last time. That it's like you think about essentially like what the hell are you supposed to make of Grogu making that sacrifice? It's like, how is this not like a horrible thing that's happening right now? And it seems like that the general perspective of the show is like, yeah, the whole Jinxer thing that was a good move. It's
and
good
this
that there are people inspired by Jinx.
This wouldn't even be the first, actually, but this is one of many examples. If you were writing a story where you actually cared about Grogu as a writer, you'd have Vi say something to Jinx about it.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of many instances where the presence of the character of Grogu has been erased from the minds of the writers because she's served her purpose. She's done.
She exploded,
and now it would be inconvenient to be dealing with her.
We have cashed her in. Like,
yep, that's right.
Gone.
And it worked, at least temporarily, anyway.
And yeah, Jinx says, "You're never going to give up on me, are you?" Meaning the whole, I'm going to have to kill myself so that you no longer put yourself in danger trying to save me. Which is just a funny thing for Jinx to conclude at this point, I suppose, with just all the horrible decisions she continuously makes. Like how many people she's hurt. She's just like, yeah, I guess I make all the decisions that end up hurting people around me, and it's like you're pretending as though you didn't make these decisions with specific reasoning behind them, like a hatred for the people you were killing, or an attempt to change status quo, or even what she did at the prison. Wouldn't that play into this now? Didn't you save all of those people and get your dad back? And then it all went to hell because I don't even know what was singed. Does anyone know what happened to Warwick? I don't know. Nobody knows anything about anything. It sucks. Anyway, she says, "You don't have to worry about me anymore. You don't need to feel guilty about me being happy. You deserve to be with her. There's no good version of me." And she says, "What are you going to do?" And Jinx says, "Break the cycle." Now, anybody with, I think, maybe 4.5 brain cells is all you'd need, should be able to figure out from all that dialogue that Jinx is going to kill herself. However,
quite alarming.
Seen the defense of this, that there is no reason for Vi to think that Jinx is going to hurt herself from these lines.
What?
She looked Vi dead in the eye and said explicitly, like 3 times over the course of several sentences, "Vi, I'm going to go and kill myself now, and I've locked you in here so that you won't be there to stop me. See you never, because I will be dead."
I'm going to break the cycle of you not giving up on me. It's like, what do you think that means? What could she possibly do that would make that happen that she hasn't done already in relation to bad events?
I want to hear the argument. I want to know what people who...
because the argument is she didn't say explicitly. None of these lines say I'm going to kill myself. there you
Well,
go.
she's obviously going to go and do something. So
No.
what do these people think she's going to do?
Oh, she might just write a
No.
poem or something.
She's going to lock Vi in
she's
prison and then
become-
go and
Let me
wander around.
introduce
He's
you to
becoming
the
an
idea
emo.
of being able to convey information without directly stating it.
Now, of course, the reason this argument is made is because it's providing cover to a scene that's about to happen.
Oh,
Oh
please.
god.
No.
I
When-
forgot about this.
Yeah, well, we're almost there. Good lord, it's so bad.
I hate
Anyway,
the slow-mo punch. Why
Yeah,
did
I
we
know.
slow-mo it?
Yeah, the scene ends with Vi breaking every bone in her hand by punching a wall.
Yeah.
Why did we slow-mo it? We didn't need to do that. We took all
Honestly,
the energy out
I
of her.
thought I
Doing a
honestly thought
dramatic
that's
scream as well. Sorry.
well. I think the sound as well sounds like it's
Yes.
crunching bones.
no, I was about, so let me
I was
play
like-
it. Let me play it for everybody at home.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just play it. Yeah.
And it's
Watermelon.
like a wet crunch. That's really
Yeah,
bad.
so I was
That
like,
hand
oh,
is
she just
done.
fucked up her hand. So stupid.
Oh well, that's done. I mean, hey, 3 doctors. Give her a few minutes. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
So anyway, Mel talks about how she's got ancestry, I guess, that's like new to her, and she can't quite return to what she was. You know, she's just talking about herself excessively. And then Jace says, "You're really strong. Don't you worry. You're the strongest lady I've ever met." So that's that. It's going to set up Mel being strong later with her spells and shit.
Yeah, also means we again, we're not going back to the conversation we had where he was suspicious and wanted answers and all these interesting things we could talk about. It was like, no, you know what? I'm sorry, I was a dickhole. Anyway, moving on.
She has this line she says about like chasing the ideal of being a Medada, but I can't make heads or tails of that when her character has been up to this point fairly defined by her pretty ideological differences with her mother. You know,
wasn't that the
head
point
of
of the
Medada
final
house.
season of season 1 where she's choosing
Yep, she
her own
rejects it.
path instead of the Medadas?
That's literally what she did. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't. She's not saying the truth here. She's lying to Jace because she wants to talk about something else, I guess.
So the sound is the opposite of the toy hitting the ground. So now we just need when the toy hits the ground, it makes the fleshy slap sound.
Oh god.
Ew.
Ew.
But yes, I don't find myself caring that much about her story at this point because it's way too out of hand in terms of power levels. I'm just I have no idea what I'm supposed to care about. And Mel has detached herself from most of the characters now, like such that there's like not much interest. Her and Jace got fucking ruined in this season as like a relationship, and it's weird because they spent so much time building it in season 1 just to do this in season 2. I would say it's like the people that made season 2 have different intentions than the people who made season 1. IMO.
I think that's an apt
Pretty apt.
observation, but they could prove that wrong.
So
Still got time.
we have a council meeting.
Oh,
Yeah.
A
Whoa.
fucking honest to God council meeting. Isn't that crazy? We've gathered people, including Sevika, to this council meeting.
And the firelights.
I was like,
Yes, the
what
black
the
eyes.
fuck is going on? When did this happen? I was just like, yeah, this is what's the thing now. Yep, this is happening. And
It's so
this-
funny because they at some point in when Ambassador was here, everyone was like, they went to the council like, you're out of a job, by the way. Bye. And now Ambassador's gone. Guys, you got a job again. Get in here. Also, you
Also-
three, you're going to replace the guys who died.
How many
a year ago.
councillors are here? How many councillors are actually in this room?
Lots of people, the families of councillors.
There is one.
Oh
The
well,
Clockwork Lady.
it
She's the only
depends.
one.
because like you're correct. I mean, Jace is still technically a councillor. Like, he doesn't think he
that's
ever
true.
actually
He got
retired.
zapped. He got zapped into the Phantom Zone, so he never had
See,
time
this,
to
by the
retire.
way, supports the whole point of what he's doing in Act 1. Like, look at this man who's obsessively looking to guide Piltover in particular directions. Like, in Act 1, he was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I
Not
can-"
very interested, even though it was at the most critical moment.
Yeah.
You know, where the future of the entire city was very much like uncertain. But
Yeah,
no, he was distracted.
He never officially quit, so he's still... But even if he had, you know that he'd just be doing this anyway, because whatever. What are the rules in Piltover right now? No one gives a shit. But anyway, I wanted to establish, this is just impossible. Could you imagine being Sevika and being sent the message, hey, Jace wants to speak to you? Like, what? Go into Piltover.
happening.
In fact, all the significant leaders of Zord, do you mind coming to Piltover just on your own? You know what? No, actually. And then
It's so
doing
small
that.
in scale because there's only, it's like you say, the leaders of Zorn. You've got Sevika and you've got Echo's number 2.
Yep, that's the leaders of Zord.
That's all we've
Yeah.
got.
You understand? They had no choice. That's all they could use. That's all that's left in the
Well, they're
story because
saying
they've
that.
not. Well, that's the thing. I'm blaming the writers. They've done such a bad job of the world building here that they're like, who can we put in this room? Like, well, Sevika. You're like, yeah, everyone loves dropping Sevika randomly into positions. They'll end up giving her a council job eventually. I'm sure. That'll be funny, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be crazy and funny?
Yeah.
Ron from Game of Thrones, you know.
That's
Ron
what
from Game of Thrones of energy for sure. So, yeah, her and Firelight Guy, because there's no one else. Well, who's the boss of the Jinxes?
Jinx.
I guess she
Yes.
can't. Well,
Oh no,
yeah,
it's good.
yeah,
It's
Gert, who did sort of show up, not really. We'll see more of Gert. It's gonna be great. Gert's my favorite.
I mean, this scene would have been improved with the presence of Smeech.
Unironically, yes.
Smeech would never be a jinxer. Smeech would never stoop to that level.
No, I mean like
he
he
would turn up as his
still
own
Hem
leader,
Baron.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, he would show up there as a-
absolutely. He should have been. It just
Um,
harkens back to the plot that we never got.
But yeah, I just don't buy you would have convinced all these people to even be here, but fucking whatever. There's like a small amount of murmuring to the point that the room is silent, and then Jace goes, quiet. And it's like, okay, jeez, asshole.
Hey, fine.
Yeah,
Wait, man.
he basically says, big war is coming, bigger than anything we've ever seen. We need everybody, let's go. And during like a montage of sequence, we're shown some guys playing the piano, and I don't know if you've seen this, Theo, but everyone's like, it's Jhin. That's got to be Jhin.
Yeah.
That's Jhin.
Everyone lost their mind saying that's Jhin.
Is
I don't.
Jhin-
He's got a
is
piano,
Jhin a
I guess.
character
He's a
from League of
character,
Legends?
Yeah,
It
he's
doesn't.
He's a
What does he
masked
do?
assassin man.
Oh, does he like music? Is he a musician?
Yeah, he's like he's a drama kid kind of thing.
I didn't think
Oh.
Jhin played the piano, or am I?
He plays a piano in one of the cinematics,
There you go.
and that is
it's
in
Jhin.
Piltover.
Confirmed.
Right.
Even if he,
So,
it's
and
Jhin.
then he gets attacked by a character that, because of Arcane, can't exist.
It's so funny too because of like I really do feel like it's the MCUification of Arcane that is just a byproduct of how everything has gotten out of hand. But to basically just what the intention here, I assume from the writers, was more so to show that even a guy as casual and artistically motivated as some guy who's a pianist is going to be dragged into this war, because they show him a couple of times doing different things in the middle of the war. But that it's just people are at the point of just being like, is that character I recognize? Like, don't you want to talk about the stories they're telling of the characters that are currently here, even how awful they are? Like, no, next one. Like, no.
Nope.
This is what happened to the
No.
comic people. Don't do it to the game people too, but we all know it's inevitable. It's gonna happen.
To be clear, this person is not Jhin. Just so we understand that.
There's
He
no
is
reason
not.
to think he's Jhin. I thought that it was obvious what they were doing. They're just trying to say, isn't it tragic that the pianist had
Yeah.
to become a war guy? Like, yeah. So yeah, we see.
Is that it? That's everything to take away from that? Because I
I
just
mean,
thought
it's
it
only
was really
quick.
weird that you get these random little cuts of this one guy whose face shows up for a few seconds later, and he's playing the piano in a scene, and I'm like, what's going on? But I guess if that's it, then
Writing
fair enough.
comments have sort of like highlighted that guy as something.
Oh, he's
looking
gonna.
forward in the League cinematic universe.
Okay, all right.
Vaulting sentence, but I don't know where or what that is.
Exciting. I can't wait to see him more. Gert is leaving, but then she returns after rallying people. So thank you, Gert. I love Gert.
I wonder if she
Quite a
brought her
leader.
Gert, be cool to see where they take Gert. Hopefully, Gert is Cassidin or something. Who knows? See how this pans out.
Jinx.
Shieldman is showing some people how to fight. Crazy how far we've come with him, I'd say. It's the arc has been incredible. I've
In a roller coaster.
He's a
Yes, I-
Noxian killing specialist. He would know exactly how to get around a Noxian's defenses.
All he
Yeah,
does
glad they set
is
that
say,
up.
you have to gas them.
Is this they've got a dummy, and he's got like a little knife, and he's just stabbing it. It's like, they got Shimanoxians. You're fucking dead.
And they've
That
got
twist gun is not
giant,
going to work.
like, these people are built different. They have giant metal shields, like multiple inches thick.
Well,
like,
he's
made
trying to
completely
teach
of
him.
metal.
He's trying to teach him, like, I guess, how to get through the armor and stuff. And I'm like, well, I mean, that's good, but
I mean, they've got a
I don't
huge
know, man.
inventory
You got,
of
like,
rifles.
a whole bunch of guns and stuff,
Yeah, teach them
right?
how to shoot. Well, you know what? Maybe it's pointless
What?
teaching them how to shoot, because we're going to find out how effective those rifles are next episode. Anyway, he says, we have to defend the Hex Gates, the last bastion of our salvation. That's what Jace says. Now, judging from if you hadn't heard him say that and you watched the next episode, you never would have thought he'd say that. It doesn't really match the kind of attitude he has toward the Hex Gates. He's the only
he
guy
probably wants to
who's there, like, defending them, and he's super fucking late with shutting them down. And he's shutting them down alone. These are all aspects that would prevent Victor from completing his plan. Lucky for Victor, Jace is an inept moron and doesn't actually do anything to really stop him from abusing
This is season
the Hex
2
Gates.
Victor.
Mhm.
Or
Yeah,
season 2. Well, I guess it's both. Season 2 Victor
Yeah.
and season 2 Jace. Season 1
Jace-
Jace would have instantly been
I also,
shutting the Hex Gates down. You and you and you and all of you people come with me.
I also feel like he didn't do a particularly good job considering the information. If anyone leaves, and I'm talking anyone, then they probably don't understand the situation. Victor's
Yes.
going to take over the whole world. He's going to kill you all if we don't stop him here and now. So you probably should join us in this fight. Just saying. Like, if any of you go, not feeling it. It's like, I get it. You might be scared, or that maybe you're like a super old person and you just can't think you can help. But we're talking the most existential of existential crises. We're about to all die, everyone in the whole universe. Ascent may as well. You know what I mean? It's just saying.
Ladies and
tomorrow.
gentlemen, we are under attack by God.
Yeah.
I hate to
We could
raise
use
this
some
too
help.
much, but Runeterra is full of forces that see an existential threat like this, and they might have something to say about it. There's like
You know
5
what?
plus characters that really should have opinions on what is happening here, and they are not present.
Actually, would have been really cool if this season was good and this kind of threat came about, and we did get to see a couple of characters that would viably and believably come here to help them. You know, and that could be a reasonable way of having cameos that were actually interesting.
Well, no spoilers, of course, but Rise is going to show up, of course, because he was the one who gave Jace the rune in the first place and everything. So, and this is the sort of stuff he deals with. Like, part of why he's doing what he's doing is to prevent a return to the times like the Rune Wars. So, he's going to be here.
I like that comment. Is no one at the council going to ask where Salo is? I'd love the idea of Jace just went. Jace was like, I smooshed him. I had to.
Yeah.
We don't talk about Salo. He's not
Salo is
important
smooshed
enough he's just not. He just doesn't exist, and no one cares because the council doesn't really exist anymore at this point anyway.
I feel like
He
if
doesn't have
someone
friends
asked
or
about
family or connections.
if someone asked about Sallow, someone would just shout from the back that he was doing Shimmer. Like that would be it. That'd be all they.
He
have
was
to
a
say
drug.
about him.
He was
But
a
then, like,
druggie. Fuck
wait,
that guy.
But Jace, why do you have bits of his skull on your
I smooshed him.
thought I wiped
had
that off.
to.
Oh, shit.
Listen, that could be anyone's skull.
Yeah. I went to a universe filled with skulls. It's all those guys.
I grew up surrounded by skulls.
Yeah. Which technically, kind of, yeah.
So then we get the scene. And Caitlyn says, I had a feeling I might find you here. And Vi says, I really believed she'd help. Go on, say it. You told me so. I was an idiot to trust her. I went behind your back and I chose wrong every time. And because of it, I've lost everyone. I want to slap Vi. The fuck up. God, everyone's so useless and self-deprecating and self-pitying.
Why are you cringe?
Remember when Vi was like an active character?
Yeah, it was really good.
It was so
I
cool
liked
when
that.
she would choose to do things and do them instead of wait for other people to tell her what to do.
She has done
the shit out of Sevika.
The plop.
I remember.
Oh yeah, when we had good fight scenes too. That was great.
Her and Kate, Kate had to help her with that cool Sevika fight. When Sevika, remember when she was a character who had a really cool
I remember Sevika.
motivation?
Yeah,
And you remember Sevika? She was a character that they were setting up.
Don't
for
worry,
kids.
Rags. She'll appear in episode 8.
Oh, that's true.
A
she
9.
will.
Speaking lines for sure.
Oh man,
Can't
that,
wait to get her
did away with her
perspective.
stupid
that's what's
bullshit
so
arm.
fucking funny. It's like you say the words, "Oh, Sevika is at the council meeting that we just had," and you're like, "Oh wow, that's crazy. No way she'd even get there." But if you're gonna do it, what did Sevika say about the situation? It's like nothing.
Oh god, it's on my screen already.
Like, what do you mean nothing? You're like, she didn't say anything.
Just hanging out there.
She just left. She was like, nah. This whole apocalypse thing, I don't really care about it. And then,
I
she
thought there was,
does
like, a
care
bit-
about it. This is, by the way, what's the interpretation? That she lied and she's told them I'm not interested, or but that she was going to come back with a force, or that she truly wasn't interested and left and then became interested because of Echo?
I think the latter.
That's insane.
I think it has to
I
be.
know,
the
that's why I
former,
say it's
but
the latter.
yeah, I have no idea how.
God, this fucking show. Anyway.
No.
Yeah, and she's and Caitlyn says, "You really think I needed all those guards at the Hex Gate? Sorry to say, you've grown a bit predictable." Which the point of that is that Caitlyn essentially facilitated the release of Jinx and the ability for Vi to go see her. Which is, a lot of people have talked about this. It's like, oh, that's a cool bit of like subtle storytelling that tells you that Caitlyn does care and Caitlyn did want the release of Jinx. And I can't fucking stand this lack of paying attention to anything. That line I told you about, where Caitlyn says, "I don't know what to do with Jinx. I was waiting for you to decide." That to me sounds like she's waiting to decide whether or not you're just gonna just let her go. If Caitlyn had said, "I'm locking her away for good and you can't stop me," that would have been one thing. But she says, "I'm not even sure. I don't even know." So the idea is like, oh wow, Caitlyn let her go. It's like she already said she was thinking about that. That's not a shock.
Yeah, there is a justice system. You
Well,
have,
what I don't
like,
even think it makes
punishments
sense. I'm just
prescribed
saying that's what they've said is the case, because I don't think it would make sense that Caitlyn wants to let Jinx go. But they've
No,
characterized
would
it
be
that way.
insane.
This is
Yeah,
what I'm getting
season
at.
2
isn't
Jinx
it?
could, or season 2 Caitlyn. I mean, roll the dice, but you shouldn't.
I even think that like after the information that she's just got from Jace about this existential Victor's going to take over the world, that is even more of a reason to keep Jinx locked
You need to
up.
talk
You
to
have
Jinx
no
right
idea
now.
what she's going to do.
Yeah, you need to go and talk to Jinx
Yeah.
because it's the end of the world, and we definitely need your fucking weapons. You're insane.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll care if it means the end of the world. But so that's actually Caitlyn's end of being out of character here. so Caitlyn says, "Listen, while you were gone, I saw someone ... which is referring to Maddie, if anyone remembers
Yeah.
that fucking character. But it is kind of funny because Maddie's not yet revealed to be a traitor, so as far as anything is concerned, that is Caitlyn's girlfriend, of which she's been very close with.
Get
Just-
cocked.
And
Fuck Maddie, I guess.
Yeah, and Vi just says, "I don't care," and kisses her, and Caitlyn apparently doesn't care either.
And this is some triumphant moment for them. Oh, dude.
Way to undermine
Finally.
it, man. Like, it's just like, oh shit. All right, I guess. Yeah, fuck Maddie. And of course, everyone will say fuck Maddie as soon as the next episode plays out, but I don't know, man.
Caitlyn
What if
doesn't
Maddie
know
was
that at
just
this
a
point.
nice girl?
Yeah, what
Huh?
if she
She was. She was. And then
No,
they
but what if
decided
she's-
actually.
What if she stayed that way? I mean,
I guess so. Yeah.
It's man.
Whatever, the ship is too powerful.
Like
It's-
Caitlyn, I stood by you when you were Dracula. How could you do this to me?
If you can't take
Man,
me at
the
my
music
Dracula,
in
you
this
don't
scene
deserve
as
me at
well.
my normal.
the music
Yeah,
in this
I was
scene
trying
is
to think of how to get that
abominable.
phrase to work with the Dracula thing.
So this is insanity.
Yes,
Obviously.
they have sex,
Correct.
and
This is insane.
I
This
don't
is-
want to.
this is
Because the
celebrated as some
thing-
amazing, meaningful moment by the fandom, especially the shippers. And
Yeah, because the
Yeah.
shippers are fucking insane.
Well, so,
I
for the
hate them so
record-
much.
There was a
don't give a shit if you have your sex scene in there, especially if it's earned/meaningful/
Oh yeah,
doesn't
absolutely.
conflict with any. We can cite plenty across all of film and storytelling, whatever.
But what Vi should do right now is
Well,
my
so we've
sister
already-
is a
Jinx's
Yeah.
blood
We've already
is in
established
that
several
cell from
reasons.
picking at her nails.
There's several reasons this doesn't
Yeah.
make sense already. We haven't even gotten into why Vi shouldn't be doing this.
yeah.
Well, there was a meme that was kind of popular after Act 3 came out. You know what meme I'm talking about?
I think I know the one.
I can
it's-
fetch
it's
it.
It's a meme that everybody
which
laughs about, but the meme itself distills the problem. So you gotta go fetch that meme.
You're gonna have to.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to
I don't know
stall.
what meme you're
Describe it
talking
more
about.
Well,
vaguely.
I suppose what's interesting is the observation that a lot of people essentially realize the same thing, but their response was, that's kind of funny,
Yeah.
rather than like, wait, hold on, isn't this like a breach of character? It's interesting how that works, that like a meme you can recognize a problem, put it in a meme, and then it becomes funny rather than something where you're like, wait, hold on.
That's a meme, that's not a problem.
I don't think that's something that these characters would be doing right now, given what's happening with Jinx.
Yeah.
You're talking
it's a
about
funny meme. It's a funny
That's
meme.
the
this
one,
one?
right? Oh no,
Yeah,
not that one.
Oh, yeah.
Fringy, do you mind posting the one I just posted to you in our group? Because that one's
one's good,
close.
That one's good though. I like that one.
Well, no, it's the same one. To be honest, we just show both of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, if you would,
By the way, I love the kissing meme. I love
Yeah, I
that
love it
thing
too.
with their mouths together. It's really
we haven't even made the point yet. This image captures it better, I guess.
Yeah, this is basically what I was about to say.
Very those memers, they know what they're up to, you know.
And Friggy is absolutely correct. A lot of people highlighted this like supportive of it, like ha ha ha.
Yeah, like that it was funny. Isn't that kind of funny? Rather than like, wait a minute, isn't this like, isn't this a breach
this
of character
insane?
that
Yeah.
Vi
Breach of
doesn't
character.
care? Like,
Problem. Yeah.
especially when you've established pretty clearly that Vi is essentially willing to like sacrifice pretty much everything in order to save Jinx,
Yep.
and yet again, 5 seconds later, 5 seconds later,
Well,
after.
I wouldn't, this is close to disastrous as like a move for a character.
Yeah.
What have you done?
Calamitous. That's a good
I
word.
mean, the thing is something that a lot of people have started to notice. The more that people are starting to, the grievances with the show are kind of manifesting, is that Vi used to have like a perspective on the Piltover Zorn conflict. Like she
the
used to have
show used to have a perspective on it.
the show did, but specifically in this case, Vi like had an opinion. Obviously, a big priority was Jinx or Powder in that case. And like, finding her, reconnecting with her, essentially like trying to reestablish the life that she previously had. But like Vi used to have a perspective on the world. That's essentially been dramatically eroded in this season to have it revolve basically around Jinx and Caitlyn. So it's a bit of a problem when the Jinx portion of that, which is the most important one, is just momentarily forgotten. And momentarily feels like, well, no, for a while, I guess.
And at a point where time is like very of the essence, considering the terms you parted on.
Well, I mean, for all she knows, she's already done it,
Yeah.
Like, for all she knows, that Jinx is already dead.
Yep.
That should be constantly, something she should be constantly worrying about if she cares about Jinx. She didn't kill her, did you? You didn't kill her, did you? You didn't kill her, did you?
Mm-hmm.
One
and
thing,
on top of everything else, as Ringo already said, the world is currently about to end. They're rallying the troops. That should probably also give you a bit more urgency to
be very clear,
do things.
I can see two people deciding we're gonna fuck, knowing the world is about to end before any particular duty is about to arrive time-wise. But there are so many things Caitlyn needs to do. So many people she needs to tell about the situation she's not doing in order to fuck. Like, the amount that has happened, even between these two, that needs to be discussed, right? Like, the last scene they had together basically established that Vi was not so sure she could trust her to the point that she had plans to kill her, or at least facilitate her death. This was a big old breach between them. They've got family deaths between them, or they relate to family anyway. So much stuff. And it's like, yeah, well, I'm now on top of the world ending, on top of my sister wanting to kill herself, on top of this fucking like this pissy dingy cell. Let's just have sex. It's like
in Jinx's cell with Jinx's moldy, uneaten food, with Jinx's blood on
Jinx's
the floor
blood on the
because she's
floor.
been picking at her nails.
Hey, listen, maybe they're into that.
I just like, what the fuck were you thinking? Everything that could ever prevent them from doing this is in play. Like, you couldn't have written this worse. Like, how did you?
And then they decided to play terrible music over it. God, the music.
That's every episode.
Cool.
So that essentially means that the Chinese version is better than our version. This scene doesn't exist in the Chinese version, so it's better.
Heterosexuality will save us.
It's funny though, because I've seen like a lot of those clips in like of the Chinese versions of a lot of these parts when like Kate and Vi are together, and instead of like having say Caitlyn leaning on Vi's shoulder, they're just like talking to each other, but they're now just one is edited out of the other,
Yeah,
so they're
that
like
looks
not even
really
in the
weird.
same room
Yeah.
anymore. It's just funny to think like they do that same thing for this scene, but you just know that they removed it, making it better.
There should just be a puddle of piss on the floor. Just to
She didn't even use her bucket.
It's so bad.
Is it worth even comparing this to the obvious example, the sex scene between Jace and Mel in season 1?
You mean normal people sex?
Normal people.
What did you mean by that, Mola? Huh?
I meant two people who have time at night to spend with each other closely instead of the world is ending. There's piss on the
oh,
floor.
man.
But there were layers to it in terms of like what each character was doing at that point in time. That was that part of Mel's manipulation of Jace. Also the way that they not superimposed,
Mel
intercut
puts
it
the
with
nip in manipulation. Okay.
haha manipulate. Well, damn it, Rags, you made me lose my train of thought with manipulate. Yeah, it's intercut with the Victor like putting his blood in the hex core and all of that. So creating life. I guess there's parallels there.
Mhm.
Also, the way that the way that it's animated, just that scene on its own is, I think, one of the best like animated scenes in like the creativity of the visuals that you're seeing. I think it's brilliant. This is just two people going like rug diving. Like there's
Yep.
nothing else to it.
The horn took
There's-
over.
Yeah.
And,
Well, I think
Um,
in terms of a comparison, it would be in all of the Mass Effect games, right? Like right before the final mission, Shepard and whoever they've chosen to be their
Rex.
companion, right?
Garrus.
Yeah, exactly. Like any number of Talia or any of the the basically it would just be the same thing, like right before the big battle. But like in each of those instances, like there's a really clear timeline on what's happening right now. Right? It's like, oh, this is actually like the night before, and then we're gonna go on this mission. Compared to like, no, Jinx's life is in imminent danger right now. But nah, whatever.
That's what makes it better.
gives it the spice.
The
Everybody.
individual who let her out and gave her like the ability
Yeah.
to escape and do something like that to herself is now in the cell fucking you. All right, nice.
It's a complex scene.
Some people have asked to have Rags read out the lyrics in his.
Oh no, man!
Yes, I love music. I love music.
I actually don't remember this one, so I'm excited.
No, I was distracted by the visual.
This one's not good. Surprisingly.
Yeah.
You're
Truly
implying the
another
other ones
sweetie.
were good. I don't believe
All
you.
right, are you ready, Rags? Here they are.
Boy,
Oh
am
god,
I.
the first.
All right, everyone.
This is while Jinx is killing herself.
Jewel, that's
Feeling
squeaky.
fantastic. Feeling fantastic. I want to control you. Watch American classics.
Hold on, can
Drink-
we pause for a second? We talked about this before. Is it not a little bit odd to like refer to real countries in like a
It
fantasy
is
world?
weird.
is really
Yes,
weird, yeah.
it is weird.
Absolutely.
If it was like if you had a song in Lord of the Rings,
I
that
mentioned this in
referred
like the
to,
first
like-
episode or something.
No, that's
Oh,
what
it was the intro
you mentioned
credit.
it,
It's
yeah.
the intro.
Well,
yeah,
the
stuff.
French
I-
one in episode 7 was the
Yeah.
big one for me, where people are like, "Where is France?"
Would you like to go to Gustav?
It makes sense. America
Paris.
is a fictional country in a storybook in this universe.
Okay. Anyway, continue, Rags.
Feeling fantastic. I want to control you. Watch American classics. Drink champagne out of plastic. Don't you want someone crazy like me, babe? Crazy like me. I'm feeling amazing. Fucking amazing. I'm high as a kite. You said you're picturing me naked. You just have to take it. If you want someone crazy like me, babe, crazy like me. If you want someone crazy like me, babe, I'm thinking of you. When I'm up here, higher than God.
I think I got
Begging
to
for
throw
a
up.
squeaky.
Oh, they drooling. They're definitely drooling.
Drooling for an oinky.
Oh, Jesus.
Oinking for a drool.
Yeah.
Or oinking for the Jesus Christ.
Set me
It
free.
is.
That-
What, is
everyone
what
free.
happened, man?
I don't know.
That's so
Remember
bad.
what could have been?
I read.
Could have been.
We'll at the end of our coverage of these episodes, there's some things to talk about. But I've read. I didn't find a source for this. That there was a writer in season 1 who wanted Caitlyn and Vi to have sex in episode 4, and the reasoning was
Okay.
that a lot of male heroes don't have much time with a female counterpart before they have sex in movies, and her point of view on this was to normalize it for lesbians too. They should be able to just have sex whenever they want for fun. And apparently, Riot told them to redraft it until that was gone, and they tried 4 times in terms of back, forth, until it was redrafted out. That is the person that wrote this episode, by the way.
Okay.
Apparently.
means that they
I haven't got
added
a
in-
source on that.
So that would be why it feels so arbitrary when
Yes.
Caitlyn kind of decides that, oh, I don't like you anymore, Vi, and then has a fling with Maddie.
Yeah, apparently
They
she
just
wrote
added
episode this one 8 and 1, which but yeah, it just sounds to me like I don't know, it would have been nice to have had someone who can, I guess, better handle meaningful, like impactful scenes, like making it worth, like the fact that this was so clumsy that they got everything wrong, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because in season 1 you do have like hints that there is a relationship
Sure.
there. I mean, it's not ever
Well,
anything explicit.
They
but it's-
redrafted it from they fuck into they develop a relationship, which is way better, way more
Yeah.
compelling.
And I was like, because when you watch season 1, one of the I guess missed opportunity. It's not even a missed opportunity. One of the things that I wanted to see more from season 2 was I wanted them to develop that relationship further. I wanted to see where it goes, because it doesn't do a huge amount in season 1 other than informing Jinx's actions, and Jinx is not involved in the relationship. I didn't want this. This is the last thing that I would have wanted, because they've snapped the relationship forwards to the sex scene and done it in the worst possible way.
Yeah, it's about as bad as it possibly could have been. And I'm not trying to use hyperbole when I say that. I think it's difficult to imagine ways this could have been worse.
Apparently it's from that 2-hour interview with Christian Link with Necrit, I guess, the YouTuber. So if that's apparently the source, but I didn't hear it myself. I've only seen people talk about it. But it's just so unfortunate, and we'll get into further of the stuff that relates to the meta of the creation of this after we're through it. Because right now, I'd say, after everything we've covered, that there's cause for concern about the creation of it on a writing level.
A
for
little
sure.
worried.
Yeah, something seems to have gone wrong.